Alrighty, we're going to be looking at this Bell bicycle helmet here. This is the Bell Event. It's one of their lower tier bicycle helmets, but it is a more affordable option for somebody that don't want to spend a whole lot of money on a bicycle helmet but still needs that protection, because you know, everybody needs head protection if they're riding a bicycle. This one does not have MIPS. We'll go ahead and get that out of the way. MIPS is the new bicycle helmet technology that is supposed to lower rotational force on the head and on the brain in an accident. This one does not have that, but a lot of companies make a helmet with it, and they make the same helmet without it. The one without it is usually cheaper. This one, they don't make a helmet with MIPS, to my knowledge. The Bell Event is only without MIPS, but usually, you know, it's like $20 or $30 more for the MIPS version of a helmet, but not important since this one doesn't have it. Now, since this one doesn't have it, and this is a pretty basic helmet, it weighs very little. I'll go ahead and put it on the scale here. So 271, somewhere in there. 271 grams is the helmet's weight here. We'll go ahead and put it into ounces real quick. 9.5 ounces. So 272 grams or 9.5 ounces. Pretty light. I meant to put the scale over there, not the helmet. Pretty light, but it doesn't have the MIPS. MIPS doesn't add a whole lot of weight. I'm just, you know, I'm just saying that, but it is a basic helmet, so it does weigh a pretty good bit less than some, and also it has a lot of holes cut in it for ventilation, so that decreases weight also. Go ahead and just look at it here. Give you some angles of it, and go ahead and look at the front. See some ventilation holes in there. Look at it from that side. Looks just like the other side except reverse. And then there's the rear. Here in the rear it does have the dial, so you can adjust the helmet. This is a medium. It comes in small, medium, large, extra large, I believe. You know, and if it's like a medium, helmet should fit. So let's go ahead and get into some ventilation here. As far as ventilation, you got 4 main vents up here on the front for your forehead, on the front of your head. They work pretty good. They're placed pretty good, and they let a pretty good bit of air in. They're small, but they do let air in. You got one over here and one over here. That lets air in right there above your ear and around the side of your head. And then depending on how you ride, if you ride straight up, I guess you're gonna get, you know, the ones we just mentioned. If you ride with your head just a little bit tilted down, you have a few more vents up here that are gonna let some air in on the top of that head. And if you ride up, you'll still get some air in them, but if you tilt your head just a little bit, just depends on the angle you ride, you can get a pretty good bit of air running through this helmet, because it does have holes cut all in it. Definitely not a race helmet. It's not the best ventilated helmet I've ever worn, but it's you know, it's not that bad. As far as sweat coming down on the forehead, you do have some sweat that'll come down on the forehead, and I've noticed with some helmets, what you'll get is air coming off the helmet. It actually pushes the sweat away. Some don't do that, so that's what you get here. It doesn't really do that very well, but it depends on your head and how you wear your helmet and all that, so we're not going to really focus on that a whole lot. Just for me, I'm saying that it, you know, I still get the sweat, because the helmet I wear now, actually, I don't have any sweat that'll fall down my forehead or into my eyes or on my glasses, so it works pretty good. Now, we're going to get into a couple of things that I do not like about this helmet. One is the padding. We have front padding here, and we have padding on the top here. We don't have any on the side or any on the rear at all, like A lot of them do. A lot of them have it, you know, on the side here a little bit, and then some on the back. And also the padding is very, very thin. It's super thin. So the helmet, you know, can start feeling fairly uncomfortable after a while. And another thing that I'll go ahead and mention, and it might not be the same on everybody's head, but right here, where the end of these pads are, just above it, where the actual foam is, it protrudes out. And on my head, those two protrusions stick in my head pretty hard, especially if you have the helmet tightened down pretty good. It really just sticks in the top of that head, and it'll actually hurt, you know, depending on the tightness of the helmet and how long you wear it. So that's not really that much fun. I tried to move the padding, but you can't move it up enough because the Velcro is not in the right place. That is one thing I'll mention though, is the Velcro is removable. It'll just unhook, or the padding will unhook with the Velcro, and you can wash it or whatever you want to do with that. The other thing that I do not like about the helmet is the straps, and this is the same on a lot of Bell helmets. They have these pretty bulky straps, and they don't want to lay on the side of your face just quite right. So it's like a constant effort to try to get them to lay on the side of your face, and to have them not flapping around. And the other thing about the straps is when you buckle them, see how it V's? When you have your chin in here, you always got a V. So it's like the helmet is never tight enough, and if you tighten it enough to get that to lay flat on your chin, then the helmet's too tight to wear. And if you don't have it tight, these straps flap, like I said, and because they're not going to lay on your cheek just right across your face. And either way that I tried to run these straps, it still gives me this V here, and it just sits like that on your chin and hangs off. So don't really like that. But I've told you some things I think are good about the helmet, some things that I don't like about the helmet, and some of these things are just going to depend on the person, and everybody's going to be different. You need to get a helmet though that is comfortable, because if it's not comfortable, you're not going to want to wear it, and you need to wear a helmet. You know, if you have an accident, it can prevent serious injuries to your head and brain. It could even save your life. You know, that's a pretty important thing. So I say wear a helmet and get one that you like and get one that fits. But go ahead and end the video here. Appreciate you watching. I hope this helps somebody out there that's looking for a good bicycle helmet. Like I said, appreciate you watching. Y'all have a good one.